Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel Bachelor and Master English. Today I have come with a new topic of discussion, that's from Bachelor level English course, uh, especially in compulsory English. I am talking about Anuradha Chaudhary's How Sane Are We. Today's discussion relates to this very important essay, and the essay talks about all human activities that has led to this global problem, especially environmental issues come forth, and how human beings are making this universe very dangerous place for them. So this is the topic of discussion today's very important essay, not only for students but for anyone who is concerned about environmental issues, global challenges due to climate change and many issues. So I am sure you will accompany me till the end of this video. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe my channel, and I am sure you won't mind giving like to this video and sharing it. Without getting delay, let me talk about Anuradha Chaudhary's essay, How Sane Are We? So first of all, let us talk along with the points here. So I am talking here in different points, and the discussion goes there, a point wise discussion of how sane are we. First point here, cause of writer's helplessness. As a teacher of environmental biology, the writer has been experiencing a sense of helplessness for the past 80 years. She has been imparting facts very objectively. She stresses on the reshaping of the world's political, social and economic systems, but her students do not reach this final conclusion. They are aware of degrading environmental disasters, but they still cannot find its link to the politics. Number 2, why do students fail to see this link? When a writer studied Parkinson's law, she matured herself, and she realized that the real world is different and the teacher's view is different. Only the teacher's view is as a rational at a rational place, but actually it is their imagination. As a teacher, she must have held such an idea of this rational world until she read Parkinson. She knew that humankind are irresponsible towards nature. So number 3, two facts clash. What are the two facts and how they clash? Humankind is irresponsible towards nature and mankind, or humankind, and shows humankind collective rationality. These do not go together, because if it is rational, why is it responsible? If it is rational, why is the person irresponsible? So number 4, what shall we do instead of relying on such facts? We must ask, or we must attack some of our friends' deep-seated conception of reality, to that our fellow citizens see the subversive application of ecology, and so how the health of the delicate biosphere depends on our thinking or doing politics. Number 5, the objective of the present essay. The objective of present essay is to show how humankind lacks rationality in his thought and behavior. Let me repeat it again. The objective of the present essay is to show how humankind lacks rationality in his thought and behavior. Number 6, a case history of chlorofluorocarbons, in short CFCs. Greenhouse effect. Some 20% of the greenhouse effect is contributed by chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs, a chemical that politicians clearly know its factual or fatal impact. Greenhouse effect is a climatic disaster. They may cause great flood, dislocate humans, even cause the Earth's extinction. Many scientists have predicted this. And number 7, another impact of these man-made chemicals. What's that? Reduction is in the ozone layer. Consequently, detraction from the quality of life on the panel or on this planet. Number 8, what is ozone layer? What is ozone? Ozone is naturally occurring substance made up of oxygen atoms. As ozone molecule is comprised of 3 atoms and it breaks down more readily, it is found in the stratosphere, but its concentration is minuscule when composed to other gases, 1/1/5 of 1/1,000,000th the volume of all our gases. Number 9, the place of ozone in nature protects us from 7 dangers. It has a very important place in nature's scheme of things. It absorbs 99% of the sun's ultraviolet radiation at the stratosphere and makes terrestrial life possible. The more we deplete the ozone, the more the radiation will disrupt the ecosystem, lower agricultural production, suppress our immaturity, and increase skin cancer and cataract. And let us go with number 10, the history and composition of CFCs. Chlorofluorocarbons were invented in 1930. These substances, chlorine, fluorine and carbon from CFC. These are non-toxic, odorless and inert compounds. Number 11, the use of CFCs, its 4 functions. They are used as coolants or in refrigeration and air conditioners, foam flowing agents in takeout food trays and cups, as propellants in spray cans, and as cleaning agents for computer chips. Number 12, human awareness against the dangers caused by CFCs. In 1974, scientists began to doubt the destruction of ozone by it. Government dismissed their concerns. Also, producers and paid exports. In 1978, USA, Canada, Sweden, Norway banned it in aerosols. Atmospheric level went upward. In 1985, permanent reduction in springtime ozone in America, in Antarctica was recorded. By 1986, chlorofluorocarbon or ozone link established. Now, less massive depletions. Corporations still delayed. The world's nations agreed to stop chlorofluorocarbon products by 2000. In 1992, its global shield lost 5% ozone. Then phased by 1996 for rich countries, 2006 for poor, and replace it with some less destructive substance, that is reusable gas cups instead of styrofoam cups, ammonia as a refrigeration agent instead of Cfcs. By March 1995, its level in the USA fell 10% to 20% below 1979 levels. Next decade, they will fall further and recover by 2066. Number 13. Hazards we are going to face in future. In the next 50 years, 240 million men might contract skin cancer and 4 million might die. Many will be blind out of 80 million with eye cataract. Suppression of immune system, threats to Antarctic food chain, damage to ecosystems and agriculture, and the extinction of some species are other causes. Australia and Chile have started to experience some of its results. Number 14. The evaluations of these decisions. The decision of global phase out, a victory for human rationality, a prayer of collective misconduct. 22 a year lag from indictment, partial lack of 11-year-old partial ban. After discovery of Antarctic hole, chlorofluorocarbons and are not indispensable to world's economy and substantiable. For example, styrofoam cups, the protection of greenhouse effect and possible victims, a proof of scientific rationality. Number 15. Even science fictions provide closest parallels to the ozone tale. In Carol Capek's War with Newts, men discovered them, that is newts, and exchanged knives and protection from sharks. They gradually outnumber, begin to flood nations, and humanity is on the verge of sinking and drowning. This is the story of man's fall due to his greed, short-sightedness, and stupidity. Similarly, Capek's other tale, RUR, and Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle imply that the world is not a wholly rational place. Capek and many others had suggested to suppress Hitler before he rose to climax and save humanity, but the Western politicians were worried about the new elections and invited unimaginable destruction of the future. Number 16. Unpredictable human nature. Men are capable of great follies and insights, cowardice and heroism, vice and virtue. History is an endless replay of these themes. Number 17. Progress and doom both multiply. We fight with nuclear bombs, not with poison spears. We replaced beyond the carrying capacity of the biosphere like the newts. As we face dozens of enemies instead of one which threatened freedom and civilization up in the 1930s, it proves our lack of collective rationality. We seem now bent on digging our own or our descendants' graves. Last number, that is number 18, last warnings. We are not completely mad or insane, nor do we make the learnings or lemmings suicidal onerous because we act wisely too. Our knowledge of discovering chlorofluorocarbons is going to kill us like the Frankenstein's monster, but sometimes some of our actions are self-destructive. Capek's prediction came true and Montreal Protocol took place. Again, Capek's final admonition is appropriate if we fail to take decisive action, if we fail to bring about fundamental changes in our ways of thinking and doing politics, we just might sink and drown. Okay, let's talk about the summary of this essay. I talked about point wise breakdown how Anuradha Chaudhary tried to break the main points of the essay in different 18 different points. So, I talked about that in point wise discussion. Now, let me tell you or share you the summary of Anuradha Chaudhary's seminal essay, How Sane Are We? This essay reflects the modern environmental issues that writer talks about the insane behavior of modern human beings who are blindly causing the ecological damage as well as the environmental destruction of the modern world. Human beings are selfish, commercial and self-destructive in the modern world. This essay implies the human beings cannot make rational decision. Ecology and politics are closely linked, although many people do not see any link between them. Similarly, we are not respecting our ancestors by conserving nature. Thus, it is necessary for us to change the present social, economic and political system of the world. The essay analyzes the misconception that our collective decision making process is rational. She shows the realistic picture of the environmental crisis in the modern world. She criticizes modern human beings for not being awareness about fatal consequences of the environmental destruction, so that they are directly or indirectly involved in creating pollutions and ecological damage. People from the developed countries have been using chlorofluorocarbons, Cfcs, and other harmful gases and chemicals. CFCs were invented in 1930. They consist of chlorine, fluorine, and carbon. They are man-made chemicals. They cause 20% of the greenhouse effect. Similarly, ozone is a naturally occurring substance made up of oxygen atoms. The ozone layer is badly affected. If the rays reach the earth, they will affect ecosystem, decrease agricultural productivity, weaken human immune system, cause skin cancer and eye cataracts. This is because only in 1985 it was believed that there is a gap between CFC and ozone layer. Therefore, people from the world could stop the use of CFCs immediately and use cheaper and harmless chemicals to replace it. However, this principle could not be long lasting, so that people started using chlorofluorocarbons for creating destruction to themselves. S.S. Chowdhury says modern human beings have been destroying their own existence. The decision makers, as the political leaders, are only worried about the next election, but not about the future of humankind or human world, human beings. They are only concerned with immediate advantages. So, our collective decision is self-destructive. Therefore, we all human beings should save the nature, atmosphere, wildlife, forest, water resources, other resources, ozone layer, and the whole ecology. If we fail to bring about fundamental change in our way of thinking and doing politics, we just might sink and drown. To sum up, the writer Chowdhury suggests us that we modern human beings should change our thoughts, behaviors, and political as well as commercial activities. So, these are just what I tried to share you as summary here, and let me talk about the inner part, nuts and bolts of the essay. So, this how sane are we, and here let me discuss under analysis of how sane are we. This essay, How Sane Are We, is a very beautiful essay based on an environmental problem written by a Bangladeshi writer Anuradha Chowdhury. This essay is about the harmful effects of the environmental damage that we modern human beings are not sane and aware about the dangerous effects of the damage of our ecology. The writer also presents some important bit of information about the ecological destruction. She believes that due to human indifference, rapid urbanization and industrialization, the environment is getting heavily polluted and degrading day by day. Through this essay, Chowdhury is trying to make people conscious about their activities and decisions making process. The writer does not directly answer her question. However, the answer is obvious. She is very critical about human thinking tradition. According to her, people, especially politicians, are irrationally guided. They are selfish, short-sighted, let us say myopic, greedy and foolish in their activities. Due to their carelessness, indifference, the environmental crises are being increased day by day. S.S. Chowdhury attacks to the policy makers who are self-oriented, who are only thinking about the coming election and just going to the power. She says they think of immediate gains and ignore future ruin. And we claim, another important interpretation of the essay is that we must protect our ecosystem by any cost, at any cost. Balanced ecosystem is very essential to all creatures. So, all people should be conscious and united to conserve the environment. Policymakers should not be irrationally guided and make policies. It will be nasty of decision if it is made hastily in hope of selfishness, greed and short-sightedness. Next, the essay says that the harmful chemicals chlorofluorocarbons should be banned in its use and it makes the world safe and clean for all creatures. Otherwise, our future and coming generations will live among problems and diseases. Yeah, we claim ourselves as the most intelligent creature on this universe. However, we are insane in most of the cases, and we have invited dangers or hazards. There was only one by the close of the 1930s, whereas there are dozens of them today. Only one instance of human reasoning seems praiseworthy. That is, however, this is decision, humankind decision to phase out the use of chlorofluorocarbons, though we are already rearing inevitable dangers. We delayed the decision. Author Chaudhary has cited the examples of capex warnings in the 1930s, the death of lemmings, the suicidal andros of the news to drive home a dim picture of our doomsday. Although Chaudhary says we are digging our own grave, we are not utterly hopeless, because human psychology or his collective behavior is not monodirectional, moving to only one particular direction. It is strange. He is capable of acting wisely and foolishly. He is brave and coward both. He is full of vice and virtues. We should exploit all his positive capabilities and avoid the dangers of the greenhouse effect and ozone layer depletion. At the same time, and consequently avoid witnessing the extinction of terrestrial life. Okay. So, we discussed about different aspects of this essay, mainly human indifference, human or political leaders' myopic view, and they are only concerned about their election and power, and their indifference towards humanity and its future, and all these things are leading to the disasters of not only human beings but the whole world. So, here is a question, and what we have learned by reading this essay, and what 7 points most significant bits of information we have learned from this essay. So, let us go with them, and what 7 points that we have gone through. Number 1, human beings lack of rationality in their thoughts and behaviors. They are irresponsible and they don't care nature and ecological issues. Number 2, chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs are very harmful man-made chemicals which affect the ozone layer and causes greenhouse effect. Ozone layer is made up of oxygen atoms and blacks. 99% of the sun's ultraviolet rays and protect life on earth. Number 4, if ozone layer depletes, it will very badly affect ecosystem and agricultural production will decrease and people will suffer from skin cancer and eye cataracts. Number 5, the developed countries have banned the use of chlorofluorocarbons to control the ozone layer depletion. Number 6, science fictions have also warned people the harmful effects due to the destruction of ecological system and ozone layer. And the last point, we should take immediate decision or steps to think and behave to protect the atmosphere that betray our fathers and slay our sons for future generations. So, these are the points that we have grasped after reading this essay, and here I would like to tell you human nature is unpredictable. Human acts both wisely and foolishly. He is full of vice and virtue. History is an interplay of these facts. So, we should not be discouraged by his inaction because his decision on chlorofluorocarbon phasing out has shown his rationality. We should not dig our own grave, and as Cfcs admonishes, we should make fundamental changes in our ways of thinking and doing politics. The writer realizes that politicians are not always sincere about their fellow beings. They are guided by greed, immediate benefit, because they are irresponsible towards nature. We owe much to the scientist who discovered what greenhouse effect is, what ozone layer is, and what the consequence of its reckless depletion would be. The importance of ozone is unique on this earth. It is minuscule but tender, and that makes the terrestrial life possible. Its reckless depletion has made black holes in the Antarctic region. Ozone protects men from different possible dangers. So, we should not be guided by the greed of immediate advantages and selfishness. For reaching impacts of our works should be calculated before hard, because the disruption of ecology leads to endless dangers and chain reaction. So, that is what my discussion of today's topic. Today I talked about Anuradha Chaudhary's very important essay, How Sane Are We. This is relating to human disasters, or the disaster of the human activities leading to disasters that will kill themselves. So, human beings were not then concerned about their past, and they are not thinking about the future, and they are doing whatever they like, and this is leading to disaster. So, how was this discussion today? So, if you have any queries regarding the presentation, please put your comments in my notice box, and I am coming with summary and Nepali version of How Sane Are We in another video. I hope you will come and contact with, or I hope you will go with that, and I hope you will be benefited with that. So, thank you very much for staying with me. Have a nice day.